My brother tried to talk me into ending my pregnancy at my husband's funeral, and now he wants to meet my baby. I was standing next to my husband's casket when it happened. People were crying, hugging me, whispering the same soft lines over and over. I was 4 months pregnant, barely holding myself up, when my older brother walked over and said, "Hey, can we talk?" Alone. I followed him because I thought he had something kind to say about my husband. I thought he was going to tell me he'd help me, support me, stand by me. But the second the door closed behind us, he looked me dead in the eye and said, "Do you actually want to go through with this pregnancy?" I froze. My ears rang. I told him I didn't understand. He leaned in like he was giving me advice and said, "You should make the right decision, not an emotional one. You should reconsider having this baby." I whispered, "What the hell did you just say?" But he wasn't done. "Oh, come on," he added. "You don't want to be a single mom. Widowed moms are seen as baggage. Men don't want that. You'll ruin your chances of finding someone good." My knees almost gave out. I remember grabbing the back of a chair because I felt the whole room tilt. He kept talking. And think about your future. You're young. Don't tie yourself down with a child just because you're emotional right now." Something snapped inside me. I said, "Get out." He blinked at me like I was the one being rude. "I'm trying to help you," he kept saying. "Your husband wouldn't want you to throw your life away." That was it. I pointed at the door. "Get out of this room. Get out of this funeral. Get out of my sight." He muttered something under his breath about me being dramatic and hormonal as he walked out. And that was the last time I saw him. Fast forward. My son is born, 3 weeks old, small, warm, perfect. He looks like his father when he sleeps. My entire family met him. Everyone cried. Everyone said, "Welcome, little one." And then right when things felt calm, my parents pulled me aside. They said my brother wanted to meet the baby, just for a few hours, just to start fresh. I said no. My mom sighed and said, "You're making a mistake. You're hurting your son. You're taking away the chance for a loving relationship with his uncle." My dad chimed in, "You're too emotional. You shouldn't let anger dictate big decisions." I asked them, "Did he tell you what he said to me at the funeral?" They went quiet. Of course he didn't. My aunt called me next, then my cousin, then my mom again. Everyone repeating the same lines like they rehearsed them. "He's sorry. He wants to meet his nephew. Your husband would want this." That last one made the air leave my lungs. He dared to say my husband would want me to open the door to the man who stood at his funeral and told me to erase the last piece of him I have. Then my phone buzzed again, a long text from my brother. He said my husband was a dear friend and he deserved better than the way I was acting. He said I was punishing him for speaking the truth. He said I was being selfish. He said I was bitter. He said my husband would be upset with me. And the last line, "Let me meet him. I'm his only uncle. Don't make this ugly." I stared at my phone so long the screen dimmed. That night, my parents showed up at my door. Didn't even call first. They said it was time to put this behind us. They said they brought my brother with them. My stomach dropped. I told them not to come inside. My mom tried to push past me saying, "Just let him see the baby." And then I heard his voice behind her. He smirked at me like this was a silly fight I'd eventually let go. He said, "Come on, stop being emotional. It's been months. You got the kid now. You won. Let me see him. You won." My vision went red. I stepped out onto the porch and closed the door behind me so he couldn't see my son inside. I said, "You will never meet him." He laughed. "Don't be stupid." I walked right up to him, close enough to see the way his smile twitched. "You stood next to our brother-in-law's coffin," I said, "and told his pregnant widow to get rid of his child. You told me no man would ever want me. You told me my son was a mistake. And now you think you get to walk into his life?" He rolled his eyes and said, "It was just advice." I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just said, "Leave, now." He opened his mouth to talk again, and I slammed the door in his face so hard the windows shook. My baby started crying inside. I picked him up, held him against my chest, and whispered, "You're safe." Outside, I heard my brother shouting at my parents, accusing them of not backing him up, saying I was crazy, saying I was going to regret this. But I didn't open the door. Not for 1 second. The last thing I heard before they finally drove away was his voice screaming from the bottom of my steps, "Fine, keep your kid away from me. See if I care." And I just looked down at my son and smiled.